Hey everybody, Kent Watkins with Delta Sports Products. Today I want to show you something that I'm very impressed with. Now, I normally don't do reviews that people ask me to do. Normally I just do them because I like the product and then they catch on and say, hey, thank you. Well, this time is different. Today I'm going to be demonstrating and showing you a product that I would have bought on my own had it been demonstrated to me. Now, I like to go camping. All my life I love to tent camp, camper camp, be outside, and I'm a guy, so I love flashlights. Now my wife once told me if I ever wondered what to get her for Christmas or birthday or anniversary, then I could not go wrong by getting her a candle, one of those nice scented candles. Well, I turned right around and told her, well, you know, if it ever comes out you don't know what to buy me for Christmas or birthday or anniversary, you can't go wrong with a flashlight. That's just guys for you. I guess that goes to show you that guys are much more advanced than women. You know, they like candles, we like flashlights. Sorry, women, I had to throw that in there. Anyway, what I have here is, let me open the little bag up. This is called the WURKKOS CL01. Open up out of the bag here. I've got, hang on, I added something to it. There it is, WURKKOS CL01. This is a little hanging tent light. Puts out almost as much light as a double burner Coleman propane lamp. I know because I'll show you a picture of that later on at the end of this video. But now, this thing will do so much stuff in it, you know, that I had to write down a little cheat sheet for me, so I remember how to operate the whole thing. And now what I've got here is a piece of aluminum flashing that came from a recent. We just had a roof replaced on our house, and that was some scrap aluminum flashing that I've cut and bent into this shape here so I can snap that over there, and that makes it a directional light. That way I can use it as a work light like this, and it's not shining in my eyes back here. If it looks like I'm not looking in the camera's over here and the picture's here, so I'm gonna be looking right here, so that's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna pull that little protective reflector off so I can read the instructions I have on here. All right, now this thing is not quite 2 inches in diameter across here, and it's about 4 inches long, tall, whatever. It comes with this one came with 2 different lanyards. Nice parachute cord lanyard there with a little clip, spring clip on it, and a much less fancy lanyard there. It did come with that little hanging bar. Now on the bottom, I don't know if I have, hang on here, yes I do. We have a 1/4 by 20 brass screw insert, so you can take this to a stand, screw that on there like that. That way you can stand it up on a picnic table or something like that. I'm going to take that off there right now so I can show you the rest of it. It also has that little ring around it, a very powerful magnet, so you can hang it up on a piece of metal you have, like if you're working underneath your car or something at night, or anytime when you need more light. Put my pocket knife up. That is really nice. That's a good heavy duty system on the bottom. Let me open this up, show you. There's the battery. That's a 5,000 milliamp battery, number 21700, if you can see that. That has enough capacity to charge your cell phone. You can only charge about once, but it will, in an emergency, you can charge your cell phone using this lamp, going through the USB-C charging port / power outlet. It will do both. It'll put power in or put power out. So you can use that as an emergency cell phone charger, okay, or any other little device that doesn't need a whole lot of power. All right, now let's get into some of the operations on this thing. I do know for a fact that if you just hold the button down and release it, it goes into what I call nightlight mode or granny mode. Not granny, granny low mode. Basically nightlight mode. Now if I push it again once, short push, turns off. If I push it twice quickly, it goes into a preset mode. In other words, I can, at this point, hold this button down and it will go to different settings. If I keep holding it down, come back up. Let's say I want to go right there. That would be a medium brightness setting. Now if I short press that setting is memorized in the computer chip in this thing. Now if I go back and just press it shortly once, it goes back to that exact same setting. Now anytime you have a white light mode on it, you can take the knob on top and turn it and change the color temperature. When it flashes like that, you're at the end of the color spectrum. That's 5,000 Kelvin. Turn the other direction until it flashes again. It goes down in color temperature. See it flash? That is the end of the low end of the color spectrum it can do, and that is 3,000 Kelvin. But I'm gonna come back up to about medium right there, somewhere about a 4,000 Kelvin. I'm gonna turn that off by a single press. Now, that was a single press. If I do two presses quickly, it goes into its full power mode. At this setting, I can still change the color temperature. There's full 5,000. Come back down. There's 3,000. I'm gonna go back to about medium way right there. I'm gonna press it again once. Turns it off. Now, that was two presses of the button. Let's do three presses. 1, 2, 3. It goes into a color mode, RGB mode. At this point, I can take my color temperature wheel up on top, and it changes in steps of different colors till you find the color that you want to keep it at, and there it is. Okay. Now, at this point, if I press that button 3 more times, 1, 2, 3, it goes into what they call police mode. Now, if you're not a policeman, you don't want to use this mode, okay? You don't want to claim you're a policeman, but it gives you the option to do that. Okay, let's press it one more time, turn that back to that mode. One more time, turns it off. Now, one thing I was concerned about when I first got this lamp, when I was putting it back in its case when it was turned off, I pushed it down in there and I realized that I'd turned it on. And I thought, what if I have this in my pocket or backpack and something bumps that knob and turns it on and runs my battery down? I didn't even know it. Well, they thought of that. Whoops, I pulled the wrong cord, shut the thing down here. Let me pull it back out of here, turn it off. If you press the button when it's off 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll flash twice indicating that the control knob is now locked. Unless you press it 4 more times in a row quickly, you can't turn it back on. So watch this. It'll try to come back on, but it'll tell you, no, I'm locked. If I press it twice, nope, I'm locked. If I press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, it's locked. If I press it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, it unlocks it. Now I can go back to full operation with it again. So let's shut it off. Press it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. It tells me that it's locked. Now I can put it back in its bag. I have yet to determine how long it will stay lit at full power. I want to try to do that. Every time I start to do that, I get busy and have to do something else. So I'm going to try doing that tonight and let you know how long this lamp stayed on at full power and a full charge. That's really the only length of time or power setting you need to find out how much time it'll run. The others are so infinitely variable it wouldn't matter. Now, notice it is a 360 degree throw lamp. That's my only concern about it. Not really a concern. It was issue is if I was going to use this as a work lamp, if I was just going to hold it up, well, the light's shining in my eyes this way as well as on my workpiece. It makes it hard to see anything. So I took that flashing here again, like I said, and I put I shaped it so I can just take it on there, and now it's only gonna illuminate that side here. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn that on. It's only gonna be shining out that direction. See? Okay. Plus, that gave me a place to put my cheat sheet instructions, because my feeble brain can't remember all that because I got too many other gadgets I need to remember all the instructions to. Anyway, is there anything else I need to tell you about the WURKKOS camp light? Oh, it's waterproof, or at least water resistant. I'm not going to dump it in the water very long, but it comes with additional O-rings in case you wear these O-rings out and you need to make it waterproof again. It also comes with a USB-C to USB-C charging cord / power cord, so you can power something else like your telephone. We'll turn it off again by a single push. Push it 4 times to lock it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's locked. Put it back in its nice little pouch. It does have some instructions that come with it, with several languages. Reading the instructions and playing with the lamp and watching this video will help you understand how to use the lamp. Another thing I noticed, when I pulled this right out of the box, the first thing I noticed is that is substantial. That is well made. There's no rattling. This is well done. I'm gonna push this back in here and I'm gonna get the box, if I can see it over there. I may step out of the frame here just a second, so bear with me. Hang on. All right, let's see what we got here. Here's the box that came in. Let me see if I can read some of the it's rated at 550 lumens. Now I don't know what distance they're rating that at. 360 degree light throw, stepless adjustment, dynamic RGB mood lighting. Yeah, we know that. Now it says here the run time on the moonlight mode, or what I call granny low or nightlight mode. It says it's 300 hours. That's a long time. It also says in the high power mode it's up to 6.5 hours. Now, I want to test that in the full white light mode, 5,000 Kelvin temperature, and see what we get out of that. Let's see what we got here. Maximum throw says 15 meters. That's relative, I think. Light intensity, I'm not sure how far we're talking about, but it says 55 candle power. Anyway, that's all relative. I'm going to do a little bit of testing on that to see where those numbers really fall in real time, in real life. But I'll tell you this. This is, now this is not a lie, this is my favorite flashlight now. Now this company, I did not buy this. This company sent this to me to evaluate. And I told them, well, hey, very first thing I said when they asked me if I was do that, I said, hey, what if I don't like it? If you give it, send this to me and I think it's a piece of crap, what do you want me to do with it? And they said, then tell people that. And so I said, send it on. I love it. I love it. Anyway, coming up next is the picture or a short video of the WURKKOS lamp versus the Coleman propane 2-burner stove, which, by the way, puts out so much heat you wouldn't want to use it in a tent, especially in the summertime. Now the Coleman lantern does, yes, it puts out more light, but the trade-off is no comparison. You're gonna love it. Here are the two lamps side by side. This one over here is the propane lantern. This is the CL01. This, I had to take a match and light it. The spark igniter wouldn't work on the propane lantern. It's a little bit warmer lamp because since it's a flame, it's going to burn at about 3,400 degrees Kelvin. I'm going to go over here in a minute and turn this. Right now I've got it full up to 5,000 degrees Kelvin. I'm going to turn it down to about 34, something like that here in a minute. I'm about using the knob on top of the lamp. But look at the light output on that. Back up a little bit more here. The light output on this little LED battery powered lamp CL01 is amazing compared to the propane. Now this thing is putting off some major heat right here. I had it in the garage yesterday and I couldn't even stay in the garage after about 5 minutes. It just cooked me in there. Well, this thing doesn't put out any heat. Imagine having that in a tent versus that. But oh, another thing, look at the shadow, large shadow cast here versus the small shadow cast on the CL01. My choice, hands down, will be this one. Yes, that one's going to throw more light, but what you're giving up as far as bulk, this is a huge lantern right here. I don't know if you can see it behind my light. That thing, I'll show you in the daylight the difference in the two. But man, you can't go wrong with the WURKKOS CL01. Hey, I did do the test on see how long this lamp would stay illuminated in its highest power setting on the 5,000 Kelvin color temperature, and it lasted more than 5 hours, between 5 and 7 hours. I fell asleep at the 5-hour mark and woke up at the 7-hour mark. So somewhere between 5 and 7 hours it went out. I did a research on the internet about how long a Coleman lantern will last, propane lantern will last on high, and it's anywhere from 5 to 7 hours. And also went to Walmart this morning and looked to see how much a 1-pound bottle of propane costs to run one of those Coleman lanterns, and it's $5 plus tax. And that's pretty expensive. That's $1 an hour, where you can just recharge this for just pennies. Anyway, oh, something else I did discover about this, I didn't tell you about in the beginning of the video, is once you turn this off, there's a little ring. I'm holding the camera with one hand here, so I've got to do this all one-handed. Down there's a little ring at the base of this white area inside the lens. That's a luminescent, glow-in-the-dark ring. It goes completely around this. So when you turn this off at night, that thing's still glowing a little bit, so you can find it in the dark. That's pretty cool. They thought of everything on this. Anyway, I forgot to tell you how much this weighs. It weighs 6 ounces with the battery and the lanyard and everything. I think that's all I needed to tell you about it. The WURKKOS, let me get it close here. WURKKOS CL01. I guess that stands for Camp Light number 1. Can't wait for their second version to come out. Man, how can they improve on this? Maybe make it a little bit bigger so it's about twice as bright. I don't know. I mean, you just really can't fault this. Go get you one. Use the discount link in the description. Get 50% off. Worth every penny.